This is the second video I've made about this bow. The first one I did, I had it at 48 pounds and it was shooting 500 grain arrows. So it was set up fairly well for hunting, whereas now I've got it set up for some ABA field archery, some competition stuff. So like I mentioned in the previous video, it's a 19-inch Tradtech Titan riser, and these limbs are 50-pound Samick Discovery limbs that I've spray painted. They make 50 pounds on a 17-inch riser, so when I've got the screws wound all the way in on this, it comes to 48 pounds, but I've backed it out a little bit to 45 pounds on my fingers, right on the dot. So it's just a little bit easier to shoot and control for extended periods. I've put this 10-inch Shrewd stabilizer on the front of it. I wouldn't hunt with it on there, but for this field archery stuff, it just helps my left and rights be a little bit more consistent. It's actually the back bar on my compound bow, but I'm not using it right now, so this is where it goes. If I have it any longer than 12 inches, I have to go into a different division. So right now, keeping this less than 12 inches, I stay in the Bowhunter recurve division. So speaking of Bowhunter recurve, the furthest I may be expected to shoot in that division is 48 meters. So I've gone from having a long, heavy arrow to have a lot more energy and a closer point on for the hunting, to a shorter, faster arrow to try and get my point on out a little bit further to make some of those longer shots a little bit easier. So the new arrow build is a 500 spine, 5.2mm crafted archery shaft. There's 45 grains worth of insert and collar on the front, and I've got a 100 grain point on there. So the way they tuned out, and I did manipulate the springy rest here a little bit in and out just to make sure everything was nice and schmick. I had to cut those carbons down to 29 inches. So with my draw length of 28 inches, that gets the front of the arrow fairly close to the riser, so it's increased my gap right out to somewhere around 36 to 38 meters. I'm still in the middle of confirming it, but it's right around there. That's also partly because the total weight of those arrows is only 370 grains. So they're going somewhere in the low 180 feet per second, 182, somewhere around there, which is not zipping along by any means, but it's a fairly good speed for this kind of stuff, especially when most of my bows shoot slower than that because I shoot heavier arrows for hunting typically. And yeah, that means most of the shots I need to make in this field archery stuff I should be holding under, but some of the further group 4 targets and all the group 5 targets I'll either be point on or holding above. So we'll see how we go. I'm still sorting my gaps out, but it's really good fun, and I'm actually shooting this bow really well at the moment, and I haven't been able to say that about any of my trad bows for a little while because I haven't shot them as much as what I should have because I've been enjoying my compound stuff so much. But yeah, hoping to shoot a lot of ABA field archery over the next few months and get a lot of confidence back with the trad bows, and help keep myself accountable and maybe put a little bit more pressure on myself to take my aim a lot more seriously. I think my mechanics and my alignment and that kind of stuff is pretty good. But I just get very lazy with my aim. So trying to hit, the center of those A zones on these really long targets in the ABA should really help focus my attention in that area. As usual, I've got a Jack Spinks string on there. I'll have to hit up Jack to make me a couple more because this one's starting to get fairly worn out, but it's been on there for a couple of years so far, and because I haven't shot it that much, it's held up pretty well. Hopefully in the coming months I'll be able to put up some videos of me shooting a little bit in some of these tournaments and track my progress a little bit, because I should be capable of shooting reasonably well, I would hope. I encourage you to go to Crafted Archery's website and have a bit of a gaze. They've got lots of good broadheads and arrow shafts there. Dan's been very kind to me in supporting me, and if you use the code WILD, W-I-L-D, at the checkout, you'll get a little bit of a discount on your gear, and it shows a bit of support for me and what I'm trying to do. Oi. One more.